Hello's everybody.
Hello, Lily.
God bless you, Lily.
Got that feeling,
Oh, seems funny coming into the circle again, because I hasn't been for some while. But I was glad to come and say hellos to yous all.
Thank you.
And I was very pleased that the gentleman's comes along tonight. And you's got to, what's a word? Oh, patience.
Yes.
That's a word that you's got to have.
Yes.
Because there's lots of things that's going to come to you in the circle, but you must not try to hurry the things along, because they comes along in their own time. Do you follow?
Yes.
But there will be the what you call it, the opportunities. Yes, they will be coming to the circles. But he's very pleased with what you've been doing. He always says that, and you ought to believe it by now. You think that there's not much things doing in the circle, but it's a fact that then you has a circle, you sends out all the lights, and they's able to help the peoples on the other side. You know that,
Yes.
because sometimes we let the spirit comes through the gentleman, then he wants help. And you've got to be prepared that feels happens, not always, but from time to time. Then we cannot make the contact, but you can. And that's very, very important. Because sometimes there's the peoples on the other sides, so when they comes, they not knows where they are, what they's doing. They still think that they's on the earth plane. And they can't see the spirit light at all, but they can see the lights that comes from your circles. And then they sees that light, that's when they begins to, progress. Then they begins to make the first moves. So you see how important it is. And he likes coming to your circle, and then they lets me come through. Since I's able to give you little chats, and sometimes I give you little sermons, and sometimes I just talks. That's the funny things about it, because there's the things that I says, and the things that I'm supposed to say that I do not say, and sometimes I says the things that I'm not supposed to say. But then they stops me, and sometimes, but that's because when I comes to the earth plane, I picks up my earthly mind and my thoughts. And sometimes I's able to pass on the things that I members from when I was on the earth plane. But now there's the times that I's been in the spirit world, and when I's in the spirit world, I quite different from what I am when I contact the earth planes again. That's a difficult thing. They's not able to put it into words in the proper way, because there's you's beginnings to understand that there is a difference in the time. The time factor.
That's right.
It's one times factors on the earth plane, but it's altogether another times factors in the spirit world. And they say that that's a world of spirit, and spirit is the thoughts. The thoughts that you has, that they comes from the spirit. And sometimes they's affected by what you knows on the earth plane and by the circumstances of the earth plane. You've been going through on the earth plane, you've been having all the terrible things happening. But we told you that there would be the dreadful things, but they's not really dreadful, because since the peoples comes to the spirit world, they's much happier than when they was on the earth plane. So, and the peoples that they left behind, they's the peoples that's got to understand that there, what you calls it, there is no death.
Yeah. All
That's
is well.
one of the things that you says, and that's what you's got to really believe. But what you's got to do on the earth plane is to try to make it as best as it possibly can, and to learn that there will be the laws that's got to be followed, otherwise there will be even more distractions on the earth plane. And what we want you to do, we want you to take all the things that's happening, that's beginning to be the beginning of I was not able to put it into words right, the better understanding, and you've got to see that you believes that there will be the peace, and there will be the peoples, the earth peoples beginning to work with the nature instead of against it. And you knows the mere fact that there's lots of peoples on the earth plane that's beginning to understand, that's very, very important, and that's a good sign. So we want you to know that there is the beginning of the change. We says that there was, because you knows that you's coming to the ends of this, what you calls it, era. And see, they tells me that's it, Sue calls it an age. But you's coming to the end of one and the beginning of another. And there will always be all the time then all the things they work on the wrong way, and they hit each other, and they get mixed muddled up. And there's although there will be the what you calls it, the good signs, there will also be the bad signs as well. But you've got to see that you make the most of the good signs, and you've got to, what's the words? I do not know that, the words. You've got to be optimistic, because there's too much pessimism in the world today. And you've got to know that there's the beginnings of the good things that we told you they was going to happen. And you've got to accept the bad things that comes along and knows that they will work themselves out. Oh, somebody's laughing, they're saying that you know there is something that you sing. They's trying to tell me the words. I don't know the words. God is working his purpose out. And that's a things. There's lots of things that's happening. Some of them, we says, very, very good. Some of them very, very bad. But you will find that you will get some new understanding between the countries. But they's got to they telling me they's got to knows that's the what you call them, the